In a cheerful town, surrounded by lazy rivers and blooming gardens, the children would often gather in the evenings to play in the schoolyard. They would chase each other between the jungle gym and the sandbox, and when the streetlights twinkled on, they'd race home with pockets full of sand and laughter. One evening, after a soft drizzle, the sky grew dark and heavy with clouds. The children stood in the schoolyard holding hands in a circle and began to sing. When their song reached the heavens, the clouds swirled and took the shape of a giant, glowing carousel. It was like a merry-go-round made of pure moonlight, and its pale horses reared up on their hind legs as if eager to run. Then the carousel began to lower slowly toward the earth, and the children gasped as they saw its riders. There were horses made of glittering stardust, dolphins leaping through hoops of rainbow light, and graceful swans carved from clouds. 1 ton of the carousel's pole created a flurry of sparkling mist, and then just as quickly, it righted itself, offering a view of more magnificent creatures. A lion with a flowing mane of sunshine, an elephant with tusks of pearl, and a giraffe whose spots shone like 1,000 stars, all around the carousel. Soft chimes rang out and a gentle voice echoed over the town. Climb aboard, dear children, and let your wishes come true. For one magical ride, I will take you away. And when I bring you back, your dreams will light the way. And so the children climbed aboard, each taking the hand of the friend beside them. And when the carousel began to rise, it felt as if they were floating away on a cloud. It took them higher and higher above the town until the houses and streets looked like toys below. Then, as the carousel turned, it carried them off to a world of pure imagination. First, they flew through a forest where fireflies painted pictures in the air. The tall trees shimmered with 1,000 lights, and every rustle and chirp of the forest seemed to join in the celebration. Then the carousel led them to a candy castle guarded by chocolate bears with marshmallow paws. The gingerbread men in striped pajamas waved from their windows, and sweet dreams seemed to spill from the sugar plum fairies dancing in the towers. As the carousel kept turning, it brought them to a moon garden where silver lotuses and lilies bloomed under the light of 1,000 moons. Sparkling dewdrops hung like diamonds on the petals, and tiny moonbeams tickled the toes of dancing sprites. Everywhere the carousel went, the children laughed and danced with abandon. They flew past singing birds and playful water nymphs, and it felt as if they were riding through a dream. But as the first rays of dawn touched the horizon, the carousel began to turn back toward the clouds. The children waved goodbye to the magical world they had visited and clutched their hands a little tighter as the ride began to slow. When the carousel finally floated back into the clouds, the children tumbled out, each clutching a little star-shaped token. The memory of the ride faded like a whisper, yet the children knew that what they had experienced was real. For each time they looked at the stars, they remembered their journey to the moon garden and the gentle voice that had carried them there. And so, though the carousel no longer revolved in the sky, its magic lived on in the hearts of the children. They knew that even the most magical moments would pass, but the memory of them would shine forever.